Alright, so today we're going to talk about bone repair. There are four major stages of bone repair. This first one that we're going to talk about is indirect healing. So if you look at this first picture that's on the left, that's our very first phase or stage of bone repair. So at this point, you can see how the bone is broken and blood has formed a clot inside of the break, which is called your hematoma. And so that's caused by all of your blood vessels that have been ruptured that are embedded within the bone and the tissues that surround the bone. So that's the first stage. The second one is what is being shown on the picture to the right. So if you look at this one, you'll see that blood vessels are now growing into the hematoma, or that broken space that is there. And what that does is the blood vessels are going to bring macrophages and stem cells into the space so that it can differentiate into the various types of bone and cartilage that are needed. It also brings the macrophages are present to clean up the debris that have been or pieces of bone that are stuck in there. So they'll get rid of that for it. And the osteoclasts are going to break down the dead bone. Now let's go to the third stage. Alright, so in this third stage, now is the formation of a bony callus. And it looks like woven bone right there. So it's still pretty brittle. It's not as strong as regular bone, but that's just the formation of it. At this point, that's basically all that's happening. So we'll just move on to the next stage, which is the fourth stage over on the right. So here is where the remodeling is happening to where the woven bone is, and that's called the lamellar bone. And that's where the hollowing out of the cavity and returning the bone to its original shape is starting to happen. And that's basically all of your stages right there. So here's a picture of all of the stages together. You can look at that, you can study it all you want, and it'll really help you out in understanding all of the stages of repair for the bone. But there's one more type of healing that I just wanted to quickly go over. It's called direct healing. So if you've noticed in these pictures, there is a gap between the two bone ends that are broken. But in direct healing, that is when bone has surgically been placed precisely in place together, and there's not a hematoma that has formed inside of there. But at this point, it skips that stage of creating a callus, but it just goes straight to forming your lamellar bone. And that's your direct healing, and that's about all you need to know. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the module and that you ace the test.